Good afternoon. Tom Breslin, Dillon Town Manager, here with Kerstin Anderson, Marketing and Communications Director for the Town of Dillon, and Police Chief Mark Heminghous. We're here for today's Dillon Dialogue. Those of you who haven't been to Dillon, look right behind me. It's a beautiful place to visit. If you're watching abroad, come on over. Also, if you want to follow up on what you hear here and have any further discussions, we have the community chat scheduled for November 9th at the Dillon Town Hall, 5:30. We'll start off this session with a recap of the wonderful summer we had at that lake, and I'll throw it to Kerstin to give us a recap of what went on this summer.
Yeah, wow, back to our first summer event. I feel like we need to do a Wayne's World. I'm not going to go there with me, you guys. Okay, so we are back to early June, and we're kicking off the summer with the highest air show on Earth. That was a spectacular event. It led us straight into the Beer Fest, the Dillon Beer Fest. We had our most successful Beer Fest so far. And then that kicked us off into our Friday and Saturday night concerts. So we did everything from Queen Nation to Michael Jackson tribute and everything in between. 26 concerts in all, I believe. Chief, you were at a few of those. What was your favorite show?
I would have to say the Michael Jackson concert.
Yeah, it's good. Tom, how about you?
I would go with the Michael Jackson show too. It was because it was at the end of the summer, about ready for that to end. But all those extra concerts too. We had Robert Randolph, and of course the NRO on the 4th of July, and
always
it was just jam packed.
It was. In between then, we had the Pro Challenge bicycle race come through town. That was great, very exciting. Everyone went back down to the amphitheater and caught the race top finish from a Jumbotron there. What else did we have? The farmers market just wrapped up last weekend. What an incredible event that is. Huge props to Matt Lope, our events coordinator, for the work that he does on that event, working with the vendors, providing a really great experience for everyone. Personally, I believe that I'm going to get a 25% raise now that I'm not spending those dollars on hats and jewelry and fresh produce throughout the summer. So we're looking forward to that in the Anderson household.
That was an internal raise in the Anderson budget, not the town budget.
That's right.
Yes.
We should clarify. So we will be kicking off events for next year. We did some interviewing, some surveys at the concerts this year, and we'll be getting that information back at the end of the week. We're going to take that. We're going to set up our calendar in the next few months for next summer, really looking to align programming with our key audiences. And I've been talking to a lot of people at the events and at farmers markets to make sure that we're really hammering home what people want to see in our events. So we'll be looking at that going into next year. Speaking of next year, we announced a huge event in September 10th. Tom, tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. We are working with a group called Human Movement, and on the 10th of September, we had a press conference down at the Pavilion, and we announced that there'll be a half Ironman triathlon in Dillon next year on September 10th, put on by Human Movement, and it'll also have a charitable component. It'll benefit the Challenged Athletes Foundation, who we got to meet one of the challenged athletes there, and an inspiring story of a military veteran. So it'll be, you can go to their website, which is 106 West Tri, 106 West Tri, if you'd like to get into triathlon. Now it will be a 1.2 mile swim in Lake Dillon, followed by a 56-mile bike ride, which is multiple laps between Dillon and Montezuma, and also then a half marathon, 13-mile run. So, and you have the option to do a quarter of that, which is one swim lap, one lap up to Montezuma, and then one run out to the nature preserve in Dillon. So it's very exciting for the town of Dillon and Summit County. It's going to be a great event. And we're looking forward to it. And while I'm here, I might as well thank the county assisted us with this. Denver Water has been great. DREC, which is a board of Denver Water that handles the recreation activities. They've been great to work with, and we're moving this forward. There should be 2,500 athletes in this event. So,
what time of year are they coming?
September 10th, 2016, which is right after Labor Day. It should be beautiful up here, just like it is right now. And
I hope.
Yeah.
So, Mark, you're thinking about participating maybe,
I am
huh?
thinking about it. Yeah. I probably will. I think somebody has to represent the town.
I think so. You better win it for us, right?
Oh, well. I don't know about that, but
For the record, I will not be participating.
Participants will be getting an awesome cowboy hat and a cool belt buckle, plus just props. We're doing probably one of the most difficult, grueling events of this kind at this altitude in the world.
Yes.
So their tagline, it's great. It won't be pretty, but it will be beautiful.
Leading into that, we have a promo that was produced for this event, and we'd like to play that for you now.
There are some who seek trial and adventure. There are few who thrive on it. Forged in the heart of the Colorado Rocky Mountains, there exists a challenge never before attempted, a challenge few can imagine, a challenge with altitude. At 9,000 feet, where 39 north meets 106 west, lives the highest triathlon in the world. 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile cycle, 13.1 mile run. It won't be pretty, but it will be beautiful. Think you got it in you, cowboy?
If you thought the promo was good, you need to be there next September. It's going to be fantastic. September 10th, 2016.
And I think Sam Elliott is going to be there announcing as well for that.
I'll be there watching out for the chief. So, next segment, we wanted to discuss something we tried to get to early in the new year, but we didn't get it. So, and that is the fact that Dillon has now gone to cameras on the police force there.
Correct. Yeah, we started that program this spring with money that was left over in our budget from 2015. Or sorry, 2014. We invested it in 2015. And so now all of our police officers, including our community service officer, are wearing body cams, as like the one I'm wearing right here. Very small, inconspicuous, small DVR right here. And they are asked to record pretty much anything and everything that they come across during the day.
And how does the camera get activated? Is that automatic? Or?
Well, it's manual, so the officer does have to push the button to turn it on.
Right.
The audio can be muted in case they want to have a conversation about something that's going on with the situation, but they don't necessarily want it recorded. They can mute that, or if for just any reason they want to mute it, they can do that and then turn it back on. And then just a quick push of the button will stop the recording.
You go out on multiple types of calls.
Yes.
So not all of them are criminal in nature?
Correct. A lot of times we'll stop and do, motorist assist. And just for safety purposes, or just so that we have it just in case, the officers are encouraged to start recording that. And if it's a happy conversation and nothing takes place of any note, we download it and consider that what's called a non-event. And then we'll keep that for 10 days unless someone were to come in and complain that the officer were rude, or the officer was some way inappropriate. And then we could keep that and go back and look at it and review it for content and see what actually took place according to the video. And then based on other crimes, if we go on a domestic violence call or whatever the call may be, then we keep that as evidence to that case as part of the case itself, and we keep that as long as the retention schedule requires us to keep that, which could be for a misdemeanor offense, it could be 6 months to a couple of years, all the way to a felony, which could be a lifetime.
Right. And those retention schedules apply to after the matter's been adjudicated, so you have this evidence for appeal and new trial if that's awarded or something like that.
That's correct, and that applies to all of our evidence. So we have some evidence in our evidence locker that will be there for quite some time.
So you learn a lot from yourself when you're on camera, right? And you watch yourself. Do you use this for training purposes?
Oh yeah, it's a great training tool. Really, that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to implement it, was to help with the training, just to go back and be able to review training. And I have found through the 20-some years I've been doing this job, a lot of times what happens is an officer may not do it correctly the first time. They may get into the habit of talking to people in a way that's less than appropriate, but it works. And it works the second time. And even if somebody complains, the officer still finds that it works, and they don't quite realize that that's not the way to be doing business. So if you go back and replay that for them, they can see that that's the kind of the tone or the edge that they took, and there's a better way to do that. So it's a great training tool for the new officers as well as the officers like myself who've been doing this for quite some time.
Okay, and have you had any negative feedback from anyone on this?
Have not had anyone complain about being videotaped. Our policy, which is on our website, It asks officers to turn it on when it's appropriate. It doesn't require them to turn it on. It doesn't require them to turn it off. But it does ask that they be appropriate in the appropriate situations when it's good to video. And that's another thing. They can audio without videotape. So I think that's a big plus and helps out with with people being a little more comfortable with being videotaped or audio taped.
You hear a great deal on the news about a lot of urban jurisdictions and that, awarding big money for grants to do just what you're doing. In Summit County, though, we're the first ones to do that, as I understand. Is that
We
correct?
are the first and so far the only law enforcement agency in Summit County.
And are you getting any requests from the other agencies for your opinion on our expertise in this field now?
Not so much the expertise. Our IT guys were gracious enough to help us out with the storage of the video, which has actually turned out to be a little less than we thought we would be storing, which is really good. But what we do get requests for a lot is when our officers cover one of their officers, that they get a copy of the video, and then they get to look at the video as they write their reports, just like our officers have the benefit of doing. Okay. And then as well, we've even had some complaints that our officer was there and the person later complained, and before long the sergeant's knocking on the door asking us for a copy of that video, which we're happy to provide.
All right. Well, thank you, and thank you for your efforts in that. It's good to be on the front of something, and
it is. It's good to be on the cutting edge of a little technology that's actually really helping the law enforcement officers that are out on the street dealing with the issues that they're faced with right now.
Oh, great. Well, we'll come back to you when we've had the program out a year, and see what kind of feedback you can give us then.
Great.
That's great.
Look forward to that.
All right. Well, thanks.
Well, from there, Carrie McDonald kicked us off with the budget process at the town council meeting a few weeks ago. Talk to us a little bit about that, Tom. It seems like we're sitting pretty solidly positioned for 2016 in the budget process.
Actually, yes. Our sales tax, let me go back and cover some of the stuff we did in 2015 as a segue into 2016. In 2015, right now we're up at 11.6% in sales tax year over year, which is excellent, and it shows that we've kind of, it's 2015, but the recession in 2008 and the dip through 12, 13, and and the effects of that have been felt. But like everywhere else, the real estate market's going up, sales tax is going up, visitors coming to town, place just seems packed all the time. So the sales tax is a reflection of the activity in the area, and so that's good. So using that sales tax wisely, last year the town spent about $6.4 million in capital projects. Two of them were big, a big road project, and of course the mayor's water tank. So, which the project is well underway. So those were two of the large projects. They totaled almost $4 million in themselves. But other things we did is we installed the digital sign, which has really helped get people around and know what events going on are in the town of Dillon. Because in Kerstin's survey, we're getting some feedback from the community about how did they find out about this event or that event. And surprisingly, the sign is right up there with what people are hearing. We did a lot of paving work. We also, in conjunction with the county, we were able to resurface the bike path from Tenderfoot down to Summerwood, which we appreciate the county's help in that. It's a nice experience to ride that part of the trail now. It was a little bumpy there for a while.
Voted best rec path or bike path in the Best of Summit Daily this year, so it paid off.
Oh, I forgot to bring, next time I'll bring my Best of Dillon and recognize all the bests of that we had there, so that was good. We just put out and awarded a bid for an amphitheater master plan to take a look at what we might do in the amphitheater going forward. Mm-hmm.
And really focusing on a lot of the amenities such as improved bathroom experience, expanding the concessions a little bit, and working on loading and unloading areas down there at the amphitheater to help with the ease of getting bands in. So looking forward to that work over the next several months.
Yeah, they're going to give us some concepts to take a look at. You know, the amphitheater is about 25 years old, so a facelift is in order there, and so we're going to see what that looks like, and if it's something the town wants to undertake. Particularly, maybe we phase it in over a number of years, because I'm sure it's going to need more than we can put in 1 year. But if we get a responsible plan going forward over a 10-year period and lay it out for the council and see if it's something we want to do, because it really is one of our great amenities there, along with the marina and the parks. And speaking
also
of
another
the park,
best of.
Yes, and we redid Marina Park. For those of you who haven't been there, it's just east of the amphitheater, and it's really a very nice location and used quite often by the citizens and guests. So you need to go visit that. We also opened the disc golf course this year. For those of you, that's a small, well, not as small as I thought, but it's a section of the population that just loves that. And so we actually had a tournament out there with 150 people this year. So we just finished resurfacing the tennis courts for you tennis and pickleball players out there. I'm sure you're aware of that. So that is the lead into last year. Next year's given the town's in a solid financial position where they have where we have enough. Certainly we could present a balanced budget and still do some capital work. I think next year we have roughly, let me check my notes there, but I think we're almost $3 million in capital projects for next year. And all our funds are balanced, and we have responsible capital plans in all of those. So we're really happy with that. And
so Tom, the town seems to invest a lot in our road work and infrastructure comparatively. Can you talk a little bit about the history of investing in roads? Well,
yeah, they put a special road tax on top. The voters approved a 0.5 mil levy on a tax, which has generated enough money to do a lot of the major projects, and a lot of the maintenance money then comes out of our regular capital fund, where we take roughly, I believe the number Carrie gave me is about 28% of our incoming tax revenue goes, between 76 goes to the general fund, and 24 goes to capital fund, or roughly those numbers. So and that's, we have the projects, we have a great plan laid out for the next 10 years, and it looks like it's sustainable given today's growth, and those are with conservative estimates. So we're real happy about that. So we're looking like we're in good shape, and we're looking forward to next year.
Great.
Okay, one other thing I'd like to announce is Eric Jacobson, who was a council member for Town of Dillon for a number of years, has decided to resign, and he's already left actually, and we have a vacancy in the Town of Dillon. So for you Town of Dillon residents, this vacancy will be open until October 14th, and you can contact Jan Thomas at jant@townofdillon.com if you have any interest. Would love to have interested folks come out and help serve your community.
And so how that works is interested parties would come in, they'd interview with council, and then they would take the vacated seat through April, right? They would
Yes.
serve out the remainder of the term, and then they would choose to either run for election for that empty seat in April, or they would have ended their term in April.
Yep, and there's exciting things for the council to decide on. Actually, we have we put out a Dillon Urban Renewal Authority project,
Yep.
Request for proposals, and we did get a couple interested parties, and the decisions on that, those kind of items would be coming down the pike later in the year, and it'd be nice to fill up the council seats.
Right. I think it's very exciting to see what that proposal brought out, a level of interest in investing in the community and building new things. And that will be up in front of Dura in the next couple of weeks here. And,
More likely the next couple of months, but
as we move through that
doesn't
process.
move as fast as I like
right.
sometimes. But yep, so, we'd really appreciate anyone in the Town of Dillon to come in and chat with us, and, you could take a look around the building, see the staff, and, you could make an application, and they'll be doing interviews roughly, I'm pretty sure, actually, the 20th of October for interested parties. The council will be doing that. So that's pretty much what we have for today, unless I missed anything.
Well, I would just add that if you come and you become part of town council, you can get in on the work that I'm doing, and that is working on the brand, so solidifying the Dillon brand. We're kicking that off in the next couple of weeks. We are looking at our website. I know I've heard from several people out there that they'd like information to be easier to find, and so that's certainly something that we're going to be kicking off in October here as well. So Stay tuned for that.
The council has appropriated money for that this year, and we did a search, and we've narrowed it down to actually we're going to split the branding and the website design, and we're moving that forward. So that will be interesting to put a new face on that. And technology changes so quickly now that we really need to stay ahead. And because of our solid financial position, we're going to get a maintenance program that keeps this cutting edge for us on an annual basis, so it's easier for the citizens and the guests to come to the website and get what they want and get the information they need, and I'm looking forward to it.
So important. Yep, we're going to have a responsive site. That means that you'll be able to pull it up right from your mobile phone, find your way to Dillon that much more easily. So we're thrilled to be kicking that off.
It's right behind me, just for those of you folks that think I get out of the way there you go. And it looks every bit as good as that. So
one other event that I'd like to invite any of the community to is on October 8th. We have partnered with Denver's Office of Immigration, and we are hosting a naturalization ceremony at the amphitheater. So about 75 people who are becoming American citizens, mostly from the Western Slope, will be coming to Dillon, and they usually do these in their central office down in Denver. But occasionally they pick out really iconic locations to have a special ceremony, and they reached out to us. They're going to be there. The Dillon Valley Elementary, their 5th grade dual language class is coming, and they're going to be leading the Pledge of Allegiance in both English and Spanish for this ceremony. It should be a great community event, and it's open for anyone who wants to come. October 8th at 10:30 a.m. So hope to see you there. And then if not there, certainly at the community chat on November 9th at 5:30.
Yes, I would like to thank the members of the Colorado Mounted Rangers who came up all summer for our bigger concerts and the bike race. We really couldn't have done the bike race without them. They filled in all the many, many gaps that we had at the many intersections that we had to control. But they came up. They're a reserve unit that charges us absolutely nothing. They're paid for by the Homeland Security grant, and they graciously come up and volunteer their time to help us out. So we really appreciate those guys coming up.
Great
I'd
group
like
of
to
people.
echo that. We couldn't do without them. And, just a big concert on a Saturday night, you have a few thousand people coming in and out. You have traffic, you have safety of the pedestrians and stuff, and they do a great job. So thanks to them. Yep. All right, that's what we have. If you, as Kerstin and I have already said, November 9th, 5:30, Dillon Town Hall, if you'd like to chat with us, or you can come to any one of our council meetings if you have any comments you'd like to make, and you can always come down to the Town Hall and visit with us and ask us any questions you like. So, good night from the Town of Dillon.
Good night.
Good night.